The current psychological hoax, getting men to fear. The other day I wrote a couple of words because in my heart something gelled regarding current situations in our country and around the world. And I wrote, failure never. Disappointments, yes. If you like to turn it around the other way, disappointments in life, yes. Failure, never. There are two great motivations in life for every human individual. One is love, the other is fear. And all men will either be motivated by the principle of love or by the principle of fear. And because there's so little known about true love, most of the world and most of society and most individuals all over the world are motivated by what to do something and to carry out something by fear. Every newspaper, basically every advertisement that you see, tries to influence you to the end. If you don't do this, this is what will occur to you. You know, if you don't brush with the right toothpaste, you get so many percentages more. The whole philosophy, basically, that I was born and raised under, and you were, and especially you that have been born in the last 30 years, has been a philosophy of fear. The things you do is because of fear. There are two types of believing. There's positive believing and negative believing. One type produces positive results. The other, the negative type, produces fear. And with that fear come all the negative consequences. I believe that the human mind is the most delicate of all members in the human body. I think your mind, your head, your mind is the most delicate part of your entire body. You make all your decisions, or you're controlled by what or how you think. The programming of the human mind is much more fascinating than the programming of the world's most outstanding computer. And it's much more fascinating because the mind stores innumerable data far beyond what the world's largest computers can store, and the mind stores it much more accurately and much more in detail. The learning process in the programming of the mind is very, very simple. When you're programming computers, you can't get anything out of that computer except what you put in. The human mind is exactly like that. You cannot get out of your mind any more than what you put in it. You can get less, but you can't get more. And as you have programmed your mind, so you have made decisions and continue to make decisions. The only way you can change a program on a computer is by changing the information that has been put into it, by correcting it. Perhaps I can illustrate this a little bit to you regarding physical food. There was a time in my life when I believed that the only important thing is to not be hungry. So I put anything in my stomach that stopped me from being hungry. I believe this perhaps is still the concept most people hold. If you're hungry, eat something. No matter what it is, just eat it. Because when you're no longer hungry, then your body is taken care of. I do not believe that anymore. I did it one time, but I rearranged the programming of my mind. It's not in the amount of food, but how nutritious is the food. Because you could fill your stomach eating stones. How much nutrition would you get out of that type of food? So it is with the human mind. Most people have never paid any attention to the learning processes of the human mind. You can graduate from colleges, from universities, from the highest academic institutions in the world, and hardly anybody ever teaches you the truths regarding the programming of the mind. I said to Craig Martindale this morning and to Donna, we were sitting and talking before the 10:30. Craig was late because I forgot the time, the 10:30 time this morning. Education basically should be primarily teaching people how to live. That's what education ought to do, is to teach someone how to live. And how to live not only just exist, but a life which is more than abundant. But basically all of our modern education, as we see it from kindergarten, preschool, kindergarten, all the way through, is not primarily to teach people how to live, but to teach them how to make money in the life that they have. People go to college, universities, other places of learning, not because they really want to learn how they can live personally a life that is more than abundant to bless others, but how can I get a better job? How can I make more money? How can I get to the top of the run of the ladder? That's our current teaching. That's how our minds have been programmed. That's why so many mothers and fathers have wanted their children to go to college. And if I've heard one person say it, I've heard 1,000 say it through the years. I never want my son or daughter to have to go through what I did. I want them to go to college. Well, why did they want them to go to college? Primarily because they wanted them to do less work and get more money. That's right. You never go beyond in this life what you put in your mind. Because all the decisions in your life are made by what you have in your mind. Psalm 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart. Now you know good and well man doesn't do the thinking in the ticker down here, in his physical heart. The heart represents the total man. You do your thinking in your head, right? But what it's saying, it's a figure saying with all of your head, with all the knowledge you have, as a man thinketh, so is he.